Kansas City taking the win 34-20. Nick, let's start with you. How impressive were your Kansas City Chiefs last night?
Listen, everything aside from a few thousand bozos embarrassing my hometown by booing a moment of unity was awesome for the Chiefs, their fans, and their team last night. You saw, in case you didn't quite remember, that this offense is not going to be guardable. Their first 5 possessions, 3 touchdowns, a field goal. The field goal came on a possession where they got the ball with 25 seconds left. And the one time they didn't score in the first 5 possessions, it was because a touchdown got overturned because Demarcus Robinson dropped it in the end zone. The questions that this Chiefs offense, Brandon, is going to pose to other defenses are unanswerable. What you saw last night to me was the Texans were like, we are not going to let Tyreek Hill beat us. So Patrick Mahomes said, okay, you're going to play 2 high safety throughout. We've got this shiny new toy named Clyde Helaire. Let's check into runs repeatedly. Oh, okay, you're finally going to respect the run. Sammy Watkins will hit you in the head. Travis Kelce will hit you in the head. And Tyreek Hill will add a touchdown to boot. So while I understand it wasn't 51 straight points the way it was in the divisional round game, it was 31 straight points after the Chiefs fell down 7-0. So I think the Super Bowl defense started off about as well as one could possibly have hoped.
It was week 1, Nick. It's week 1. Yeah. Tame expectations. You hear Coach talk about it all the time. Mangini, he comes on the show and he tells you all the time, what you did last year doesn't matter. Now, I will say this. Mahomes looked good, but I was not impressed. What I expected happened. This looked like a preseason game, and I hate to say this because everyone's excited about football being back. I'm excited about football being back. But when's the last time, and I think it's in his couple years of being in NFL, Mahomes, when's the last time he threw for 200 and something yards? Well, it was week 17 of last year when he was getting ready to go on his run. But really, it's only happened a handful of times. You saw mishaps and misfires between him and Sammy Watkins. A guy runs a hitch route. It should be a pitch and catch, and he throws the ball to the sideline. Now, it's not about him throwing a bad pass or Sammy Watkins running a bad route. What it's about is that they weren't on the same page. When's the last time we saw a really good wide receiver have the ball doinked off of his face mask? You're seeing pass protection issues. They got to clean that up. This is week 1. If I am the Steelers, if I'm the Colts and I'm the Ravens, I see hope, and I'm licking my chops because, yeah, they're good, but they didn't show greatness last night.
Okay, but we can pluck a few great things out of last night. One of them, like Nick mentioned, a shiny new toy for Patrick Mahomes, right, Wilds? Clyde Helaire. What did he have? 25 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown for the rookie. What'd you make of his debut?
Yeah. What'd you make of it, Wilds?
I want to be happy for Nick. He went full carrot top to start the show, so I'd like to relax some of my comments. But, Nick, it feels like you got the Rookie of the Year with the last pick of the first round. 25 carries was 6th most all time, so you know he's going to, for a debut for a rookie all time, you know he's going to use him. The last 100-yard game with the TD was Saquon. So it's like, oh, Saquon? Like, did you just get Saquon? And then others were like, no, it's not just Saquon. The comparisons kept coming. Remember, Andy Reid was like, oh, he's like Brian Westbrook. And then Anthony Weaver's like, no, he reminds me of Darren Sproles. And then at halftime, Dungy was like, you know what he reminds me of? Work done. And then on Twitter, this is my favorite one, Maurice Jones-Drew was like, nope, he's me. Maurice Jones-Drew. I'm coming in over the top. He's me. I'm the guy. I loved it. So I was like, he's already being compared to legendary great players, Nick. Here's the one thing I don't know if I don't know if there's a cause for concern or a cause to be even more scared of the Chiefs offense. He legit could have had 4 touchdowns that game. He had multiple runs within the 5-yard lines. Sometimes he was going backwards. Sometimes he was getting stuffed. So I can't tell if Andy Reid is going to be like, all right, you're just not our goal line guy, or that's just a scheme thing where they get freed up and he'll be scoring multiple touchdowns a game. So congratulations. I don't think you guys are winning the Super Bowl, but I bet you got the Rookie of the Year.
Well, Brandon. So a couple things, because I do want to talk about Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
A lot of
One
things.
is great
There's
job
a lot
by
of things of what Wild said.
Okay, so but real quick, great job by our production staff by compiling that Mahomes incompletion reel in a game where he was 75% completions. Those were hard to find. So really good job. It took a lot of work to find 5 incomplete passes.
What was he,
So
20
good
for
job there.
34? 20 for 34? That's not a Mahomes day. You just talk about LeBron.
I think he was
What is the
24.
expectation? What's the standard for Mahomes?
Well, listen, he was
What's the
24
standard for
32, he had a
Mahomes?
100 passer rating. He had 3 touchdowns, no picks, and they took their foot off the gas midway through the third quarter. But you're right, Brandon,
played
I
good.
agree. It was like a B- Mahomes game, which is why it's so scary for the league. When it comes to Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and this is what I want to bounce off you, Brandon, it did just listen, I think he's going to be very good. But it also reminded me how much, and as a player, this has to at times feel almost paralyzing. How much of your success is situational? Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire went with the 32nd pick of the draft. The next running back taken was taken at 35 by the Detroit Lions.
Everything.
Who was that?
Good.
Was it Swift? DeAndre Swift, I think. And so I just feel like if you're Edwards-Helaire, and I know it's one game, but it does feel like your trajectory of your entire rookie season, if not the beginning of your time in this league, was totally determined not by how good you are, but by which team took you. Because he's in the perfect situation. He's going to face the lightest boxes, Brandon. He's going to be in the best spot of any running back out there.
I've been waiting 15 years for someone to stand up on TV and say that. You are absolutely right. Think about this. In 2006, I was drafted to the Denver Broncos. Who was there? Mike Shanahan. Where did he come from? Oh, the West Coast offense, right? Yeah. And know how to get the receivers and tight ends and the running backs in the game. What if I went to the Baltimore Ravens or the Pittsburgh Steelers when they were run happy? What if I went to a team that was running the Wildcat with me, Brandon, have 100 catch seasons 3 years in a row? No, so you're dead on. But I will say this, guys, slow down. It's week 1. Wilds, great job highlighting, what all the other expert running backs said last night during the broadcast. But here's the reality. It's week 1. There was no offseason. There was no preseason. So what does that mean? There was no contact. So, of course, defensive guys weren't going to be in a position to tackle well. We've seen this for the last 6 years. Tackling in the NFL is getting worse. And then to your point, having a running back in this scheme opens up everything for everyone else, starting with Andy Reid. He can now call his whole playbook. He can open it all up. And then the Patrick Mahomes and the wide receivers, and this is why I was down on this game, is because when you have a running back running the way he does, you have hitch routes, slant routes, goals, and back shoulders. That's pitch and catch. They should have been able to tear up the Texans, and they have to clean that up if they want to compete in another championship.
Okay, well, we'll talk about the Chiefs' quest for ring number 2 throughout the season, and then rings 3 and 4 will be shortly thereafter. Real quick, though, first gambling tip of the year. We're 9 minutes into the first Football Friday. Sounds like what Brandon's saying is defenses are going to be lagging offenses this weekend. Sounds like the overs might be the play, America. 2011, the lockout year, week 1, I think 75% of the games went over. So jump on that now if you can, make yourself a little bit of money.
I like that.
How about that?
I had the same exact thing. I was just about to give the exact same.
I know, Jenna. I stole it from you.
Tip.
I stole it from you. I got that 2011 stat from you,
Chiefs,
Jenna.
by the way. Chiefs on the road, by the way, next week with a date with the Chargers. See if they can do this again. Remain undefeated. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.